What is going on, guys? My name is Michael Christian, and you contributor here to the 5 Reasons Sports Network. This is eMiami. This week in eMiami, we're going to take a look at what Madden thinks is going to happen for the Dolphins' Week 2 matchup against the Buffalo Bills. Before we jump into some highlights from the gameplay, the first thing I want to let you guys know is I'm going to be tracking the Miami Dolphins Madden ratings as we go from week to week, seeing what changes have been made, and by the end of the season, we can take a look at who improved the most, who went down the most, what were some surprises, what are some accurate ratings, what are some inaccurate ratings. But for now, let's just look at the 5 Miami Dolphins who had their ratings changed from week 1 to week 2. Those 5 Miami Dolphins are Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Brandon Jones, Jamal Perry, formerly Jamal Wiltz, and Solomon Kindley. The highest overall rated player on that list is Christian Wilkins, who saw his rating go from a 74 overall up to a 75. He had a really good game against the New England Patriots, got a sack in the backfield on Cam Newton, another tackle for loss on Cam Newton on a design run play, was disruptive, even tried to snatch Cam Newton's chain at one point. Whether that's true or not, who knows, but I love that guy, so I'm going to side with him no matter what he did. Next, we're looking at Raekwon Davis, who actually saw his rating go down from a 74 overall, one step to a 73. What really was going on there, I'm not super sure. He didn't have a great game. He didn't pop. But a 74 overall player, I don't think is expected to pop week in and week out, especially as a rookie in his first game against Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. For some reason, the Madden developers decided we got to bump this guy down one, so he went from a 74 down to a 73. Brandon Jones is the next player we want to talk about, and I think he was probably the breakout star from this game for the Miami Dolphins, seeing his rating go from a 68 overall up to a 69. He played way more snaps than anybody would have guessed and played those snaps really well. Was constantly around the ball, was constantly making tackles, had a couple mistakes. I think there was a flag here or there, but we'll just chalk that up to rookie mistakes. They happen. We anticipate them happening, and him making those rookie mistakes, if we can see him learn from them, gives us hope for a really bright future for him. Next, we're going to take a look at Jamal Perry. Jamal Perry actually saw his rating go from a 66 overall up 1 point to a 67 overall. Nobody really thought he was going to be on the field as much as he was. Brandon Jones was the breakout star because I think Brandon Jones had a better game, but Jamal Perry is another surprise candidate here. You'd think Nick Needham, a player who played really well and coming out of camp had pretty good reviews from plenty of the beat writers, would have a lot of snaps in the game, but Jamal Perry actually played 31 snaps compared to Nick Needham's 0. What was going on there, I'm not super sure. Probably just some packages that the Dolphins defense ran more than they expected. Maybe Nick Needham's not going to see the field that much this year. We'll have to wait and see week 2 what's going to happen. But Jamal Perry played well enough that the Madden developers decided to bump his rating from a 66 overall up to a 67. Solomon Kindley started the season as a 60 overall. He's a 4th round pick. 4th round picks usually don't get too much respect, but he's starting. Everybody coming out of camp said he was playing really well. Started as a 60, which I think was too low, but already has seen his overall increase 2 points from a 60 overall to a 62. Against a Bill Belichick defense that has a fairly strong defensive line at times, and is going to have some really good schemes, you got to give him credit for playing really well, not making too many mistakes, wasn't called for a hold. I don't think he allowed any sacks. You're going to look for big things from Solomon Kindley for the future. I think his 60 overall to start the season might end the year around a 68 or a 69, which isn't too high of a rating, but an 8 or 9 point difference over the course of one season for a 4th round rookie, that is some great stuff. But now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some highlights from the simulation. And shotgun again, through wide receiver, tight end, and running back. So 11 personnel. Fitzpatrick rolls out, has some space. Ooh, finds Mike Gesicki open right in the middle. I will say, I think this is a good week for Mike Gesicki to have a great game. Mike Gesicki didn't have a bad game against the Patriots. I think, especially this week with the Bills, unfortunately suffering some linebacker health issues, I think he has a really good chance to have a good game. So we'll see if that continues. Hand off to Breida. Oh, big hole up the middle. Matt Breida, ooh, down to the 28-yard line, it looks like. Fitzpatrick dropping back again. Finding a open Mike Gesicki deep in Dolphins territory. Beasley with the motion. Josh Allen dropping back. The pressure was there, but Stefon Diggs got it. The issue with 3rd and 2 in the red zone is that the Bills can run it or they can pass it. Looks like they're going to pass it. Not super sure. Let's see what they do. Josh Allen drops back to pass. Oh, and he had Cole Beasley wide open in the end zone. I can change that up. Another pass to Diggs. Diggs finds a solid play. That catch by Stefon Diggs was made while being guarded by Xavier Howard. Looks like in Madden, Xavier Howard is playing the right side. Byron Jones is playing the left side. I'll be really interested to see if Brian Flores decides to put Byron Jones on Stefon Diggs the entire time, kind of have him shadow him around. 3rd and 2. Ooh, Josh Allen actually finding some pressure and a great sack by Jerome Baker. Going on 2nd and 3. Fake handoff. Good rollout. Oh, deep shot by Josh Allen. Ooh, broken up by Byron Jones in the right spot. Open hole for Knox to reach for. Devin Singletary up the middle. Great run. Another great run for Devin Singletary. 8 rushes, 56 yards. 1st and goal at the 1 yard line. Probably just going to be handoff to Singletary right up the middle. And he gets stopped. Davon Godchaux shedding his block and stuffing him at the 1 yard line. Let's see if we can keep this up. Got to do it 2 more times. Let's see if they hand it off to Singletary again. Tight end in motion to the left side. Hand off to Singletary, and he gets stopped again. Davon Godchaux, 2 straight plays, stuffing the Bills' running game. John Brown, Stefon Diggs, Singletary in the backfield. He's going for the pass. And he just runs it up the middle. Josh Allen taking advantage of the gap in the middle. Looked like he had Stefon Diggs open, just decides to run it in. Fitzpatrick, clean pocket, decides to roll out to the right. Throws a crossbody shot all the way to Devontae Parker, who's wide open. Wide open Devontae Parker picks up 20 yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick, empty backfield again. Clean pocket. Finds Jakeem Grant in the middle of the field, takes it all the way down to the 3-yard line. Puts Mike Gesicki in motion, moves him over to the right. Hand off to Matt Breida, who finds a hole on the right side, and touchdown Miami Dolphins. We have a tie game here in the 4th quarter. Great drive by the Dolphins. All 3 timeouts for both teams. Josh Allen with the ball. Dolphins could really use a turnover here to change the game. Play action pass. Looks like we've got some pressure. Throws the ball with the pressure and still caught by Stefon Diggs. What a big play for the Bills. Singletary again with the rush. This time to the left side, and he's going to score. Fitzpatrick takes a snap. Well protected. Has enough time, but are there any receivers open? Looks deep and almost caught by Devontae Parker. Great play by Wallace. Had his hands on the ball and then knocked out. Dolphins gets his play to keep the game alive. Fitzpatrick is back. Looks over the middle. Intercepted by Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde coming up clutch. Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing another interception. And the Buffalo Bills are just going to kneel this one out and take the win 21-14. Taking a look at the team stats, looked like the Bills' biggest advantage was in that rushing game. The Bills had an 80-yard advantage on the ground. Something that we saw last week against the Patriots, something that I hope we don't see more of in the future, but something that I'm afraid we probably will see a lot of moving forward. Josh Allen, great passer rating, as he always does against the Dolphins. I really hate that he always looks great against us because I don't think he's that great of a quarterback. But the Dolphins know how to make Josh Allen look good. This was a game that proved that again. 11 of 14, 138 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Ryan Fitzpatrick, fairly similar game, 11 of 16 for 134 yards with 1 touchdown as well. The big difference, that interception. Taking a look at the rushing stats, Devin Singletary absolutely torched the Miami Dolphins. 17 attempts for 103 yards, 6.0 average yards per carry, and a touchdown. Probably should have had 2 if it wasn't for Davon Godchaux. Great plays at the 1 yard line to stop him from scoring. Josh Allen also had a pretty good rushing day. 6 attempts for 22 yards, also scoring a touchdown. Matt Breida, leading rusher for the Dolphins, 4 attempts for 27 yards. Stefon Diggs came up huge. When the game was tied 14-14, the Bills needed some form of big play, and Josh Allen got drilled in the backfield. Stefon Diggs makes a little adjustment on his route, kind of runs it a little bit shallow, had already beaten Xavier Howard. Great catch by him. Parker, though, did also have a really good game. 3 receptions for 56 yards. The receiving touchdown on the day was Mike Gesicki in the first quarter. Other than that, fairly quiet day. I don't think that Preston Williams had any catches. He didn't have any. Leading tackler was Eric Rowe with Landon Robertson, Jerome Baker, and Xavier Howard right behind. If we look at tackles for loss, Davon Godchaux, 2 tackles for loss. Big tackles for loss for Davon Godchaux. Not really the outcome we wanted. The Miami Dolphins lose to the Buffalo Bills in the Madden simulation 21-14. Some big stars from the game. Devin Singletary had a really good rushing game. Josh Allen always plays well against the Miami Dolphins, had 140 passing yards, a touchdown, 22 rushing yards, and a touchdown. While I was discussing the stats, I said a lot of things like he had a great game, he played really well. The numbers aren't super high, but you have to take into account that the quarters are only 6 minutes long. The game probably runs a lot faster. So if we translated that to a full game, those stats would probably be much higher. Stefon Diggs had a great game. We'll see if Byron Jones shadows him on Sunday. I don't know if they're going to let Xavier Howard handle one side of the field and Byron Jones handle the other. We'll see if there's a shadowing going on. That's going to be up to Brian Flores. At this point, normally what I'm going to do with this series moving forward is I'd go over, hey, here are some of my keys for that week's game. Here are some of the things that I think we need to focus on to win. However, in this case, I'm not going to do that. Here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, we have a bunch of Dolphins content for you guys to check out. Go ahead and check out Alfredo Arteaga's yard work, where he goes over some plays from the recent week with some gameplay footage, breaks down what's going on, draws some arrows, say, hey, this player should be here, this was a missed assignment, this was a great block by the offensive lineman. I mean, it's some really great stuff. Make sure to check that video out. When it comes to keys to the game for this week against the Buffalo Bills, go ahead and check out Kaichian Chisholm's video. He put up a video for his 3 keys against the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to give you mine real quick. Not going to go into too much details because I really want you guys to check out that video. But my 3 keys are going to be, you got to keep Josh Allen in check. Josh Allen is not an MVP player, and I don't think Josh Allen will ever be an MVP player. Don't make him look like one like we always do. Keep him in the pocket. Learn how to deal with the rushing quarterback. Keep him in check. Keep him in the pocket. Force him to beat you with his arm. And I think our secondary will get the job done. Next, we're going to look at the Dolphins. Got to get a running game going. Just make sure we get some solid runs. 4 yards per carry is all we need. Make sure we get some solid movement. And lastly, the Miami Dolphins need to make sure not to turn over the ball as much. The receivers were not very open last week. Led Ryan Fitzpatrick to make some challenge throws that ended up being intercepted, but we cannot have another 3 interception game from Ryan Fitzpatrick. That is going to do it for me this week on eMiami. Expect this series moving forward. Expect some Dolphin simulations, Heat simulations, Panthers simulations, Inter Miami when they come out with FIFA 21. For now, make sure to keep it locked in here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure to follow our content. You guys have a good one, and go Dolphins.